Hi all, it's Froggy Friday. What am I going to do this week? I don't know. I had an urge to do pink. I've got these, they're like half pearl things, so I'm going to pop into the toes. I've already got the eyes in, went with pink eyes, obviously. Although they are round purpled, but I've kind of, yeah. Okay, we'll figure that out when they come out. So I'm just going to pop these into the toes. This bottle's been standing upside down because it's almost empty, so need to be careful that it doesn't run out too fast. Okay. Where are we? And that's a good start. That one's upside down. There we go. I'll get the rest of these in, get it fully cured up, and I will be back to see you when we're ready to move on. See you in a tick. Well, the beads and the toes are all set now. I'm sure you noticed earlier on these bits and pieces sitting on the side. They're from their nail art decorations. And I've been playing about, and I've kind of made a shape that I want to hold them into. They're not fixed down, but I'm going to use UV for that, because I don't want them moving about when I set the actual resin in. So I'm just going to put a few drops in there. Now I'm going to make sure there's no bubbles in there, obviously. I want to make sure that they're not moving around, because this one's already started moving with the UV dripping on it. And so is this one. Try and get them into the place where I want them to stay. Oops, see, I'm moving it already. Yeah, they're still moving, so I'm going to put it down this way a little bit. Now, got them more or less where I want them to be. I try and very carefully, before they move too much, again, give them a very quick zap with my torch, just to hold them in place before I put this back under the big UV light. That should hold it in place now. If I can just go and put it under the big light, I'll be back. See you in a tick. Oh, either I didn't press record then, or it switched itself off. I'm hoping my memory is not full. I've sealed those, I hope, so that when I put the resin in, it doesn't get behind them. I'm just using a mix of UV resin and a fine pink glitter, which I think I got from the range in the UK, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm just going to do this in quick stages because I don't want it running outside that framework. Let's pop a little more in there. I may need to build this up in little layers because it's going to run down into the middle. Right, I'm going to get that quickly under the big light and keep everything crossed, and I will see you in a sec. Bye. This is fully cured now, and what I did also was I got a little bit of silicone and I put 3 little heart-shaped ones together and put the glitter in, and then I put that piece into the head and I've secured that in place with some UV. So now I need to mix up some resin, for which we need the magic. Thanks for teaching me the magic trick, Loula. Saves me a lot of time. I got my resin mixed up. I've only got about maybe 30 grams here. So first layer is going to be reasonably thin, which is what I want. Actually, even that's going to be too much for what I was after. I've got these, they're like little beads of varying sizes. I've got this deeper pinky purple and a paler pink. And I want to try and put them around those if I can. I don't think they float, but I could be wrong about that. Get myself a little spoon. I don't know if you can see how absolutely teeny tiny some of these beads are. So I'm just going to drop a few here and there. I'm not doing very well. I'm making a great mess of this. And so because I've got a little bit of resin left, I'm going to pop some in the elbows and knees. Not too much. Now next week, of course, if I've got my calculations correct, because I'm doing this one well ahead of time, next week will be Friday the 13th. So, whereas this week is a really pretty sweet little frog, I think we can pretty much guarantee that next week is going to be anything but. So, just going to drop a few of these into the knees. Oh, completely missed the resin. I'll push it down in a second. And same with the elbows. Again, I really don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see when the resin's cured. I'm getting more on the desk than I am on my spoon. Mix of colours. Oh, what a mess I make. Right, I'll get all my mess cleaned up. Push that down into where it's supposed to be. Put the remains of my resin into a standby mould. And I will see you very soon. Bye. Hi all. This is fully cured, ready for the next layer. And I'm kind of dithering about this one, but I think I'm going to put some, just the teeniest bit of the sparkle in there. I should have put some in the last layer really, but I'm only using probably about 40 grams of resin peroxide crystal here, and that should be ample. So I only want a very, very light sparkle in there because obviously I haven't got any in the first layer. Seems to be mixed in. A couple of bubbles in there, but I can deal with those in a minute. So I'm just going to throw this in. See how far it takes me. Up to the side while I check that my microphone's still working. And I've put just a little bit of resin to one side here. And I'm going to use this little bit of this red interference powder in there. Now, I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. Just hope I don't ruin the whole darn thing. This is epoxy, not UV. Just need to get it completely properly mixed in there. And I'm going to attempt to just kind of drizzle this. I said drizzle, I'm just dripping, aren't I? So I'm not going to put any more than that in. I'm going to stick a time lapse on, I think, or just fast forward through, whatever, just to see if anything happens. And I will be back when we are ready to do the next coat. See you in a bit. Hi all, this layer's set now. So for what will probably be the final layer, I'm going to use this baby pink, and I'm going to chuck some sparkle in it as well because why not? So start with the, I wasn't sure if I'd opened it then. Start with the pink. And I've had this bottle 4 years and I've still got a reasonable amount left. You really don't need an awful lot of this because it does take over. So I'll grab a different spoon so I don't want to contaminate it. And that is ample. Should still give a nice sparkle even with the colour in there. If you don't see it, it doesn't matter too much. I still like the pink. Give this quick squirt of isopropyl alcohol to burst any bubbles of powder that's still there. And it seems to be okay. I don't think the sparkle is going to show very much at all, but that's okay. So let's get this in. I underestimated the amount of resin I was going to need, I think. That's okay, I've got a little bit more. I mixed up a little extra, so I was going to do something else at the same time. Very pretty colour. I'm just going to run this under here, check for bubbles. And again, under the legs, because that's where the bubbles tend to hide. So I'm going to go move this off my desk because I have other things I'm working on today. I'll mix up the other drop that I've got and get it in. And I will see you when we're ready for the demold. See you in a bit. Hi all, it's demolding time. Now, I'm not expecting it to work this time. Oh my goodness. But last time I demolded, it was incredibly easy. And I don't know why. If I knew what I'd done, I'd do it again. But it looks like it is working again. Unbelievable. So, pop the mold out of the way. Let's have a look. Yay! It worked. Look at that. I am so happy. Got a little bit of trimming up to do. And I was going to put a crown on her, and then I realised, see, if I do, it's going to cover that up completely. So I'm not going to do that. What else will I do? I don't know. Seems a little weird along here. Oh, that's the little bubbles. Yes, I'd forgotten about those. You can't really see them at all. You can see one or two here, depending on how the light hits it. But to be fair, some of them were so small you could barely tell they were bubbles. Yeah, it's come out really well. Better than I'd expected, even. Am I going to do anything else to her? I don't think so. Oh, I don't know, though. She could probably do some eyelashes. I'll have a think about it. I'll get you some photos. Don't forget, check out the rest of the Froggy Friday playlist. The original playlist, the April playlist, and the May one are all linked as well. And give us a thumbs up. And I will see you very soon for the next one. Bye.